Hi, and welcome back to the Passive Income course. I am so excited to share this lecture with you in particular because Udemy is my new number one favorite way to create passive income, even over Kindle books, which I love Kindle books. But Udemy has just hit me like a hurricane. And I'll just give you a little bit of background. At the time of this recording, I've been teaching on Udemy for just over a year, and I've created 12 courses on Udemy, and I'm currently making between about $1,000 and $2,000 a month from Udemy. I've spent very little money on it, and the time that I've spent teaching on Udemy has been absolutely fun and fulfilling. So I really just can't say enough about it, and I'm excited to share it with you. So I'm just going to dive right in and go into all the pros of why Udemy is so awesome. First one is that it is so fun following your passion. Like with websites or with ebooks, you can share the things that you love and teach them on Udemy. In fact, this course is a good example. I have been passionate about creating passive income and the lifestyle that comes with passive income for so many years, probably 15 years. And I'm not always able to share that with people one-on-one because a lot of the times the people that I'm around aren't necessarily receptive to that or interested in that. And so Udemy allows me to reach a much broader range of people. And in fact, the people who are interested in passive income actually come to me. They come and find my course, whether it's through a Google search or whether they're already on Udemy and they're searching for this. But just like you are able to find my course and benefit from it just by me putting it out there. And that is an amazing opportunity that Udemy provides. It also allows me to take the things that I'm passionate about and contribute to the world in a positive way. I teach a lot of things, but a lot of them are entrepreneurial things. So like in my Kindle publishing course, I'm able to actually help people. Like people have taken my course and they've actually learned how to create an ebook. Many of them have actually tried already and failed because it's hard to find the resources and the information out there. And so they're able to sit down, go through my course in a couple of hours, and a week later, they have their first Kindle book published and live. And that is an amazing contribution that I would not be able to do otherwise without such an efficient means of connecting with the outside world. And of course, while following your passion and contributing to the world and making a difference are all wonderful, but if you can't pay the bills, then that can sure be a challenge. But Udemy has an almost unlimited income potential. At least at the present time, it really is based on how much ambition you have, how much creativity you're willing to invest, and how interested you are in figuring out what students need and connecting with them and bringing what they need to your courses. And I'm not making any promises here about income because this is just like anything else. It really is what you put into it. But I'm connected to a lot of people on Udemy who are making in the thousands of dollars per month from their courses alone. And there are many more people who are less committed to the platform who are still making hundreds of dollars a month, just hobby income, side income, which is really amazing. So the income potential is just phenomenal. The other thing is we all have something we can teach. There's probably not one person out there that doesn't know something well enough to be able to help someone else with it. And if you've taken my Kindle publishing course, you've heard me rant about how you can take your hobbies and your passions and turn them into an ebook, and the same principle applies with a course. If you know how to use any sort of software or programming language or fix a car or motivate yourself or anything. I mean, my first course here on Udemy was about pottery because that just happens to be something that I really love. So the opportunity really is open to anyone. And one of the coolest things about Udemy is that it takes all of the best parts of teaching and the best parts of being an entrepreneur, and it puts them together. So let me give you an example of this, and this is one of the things that I'm just really excited about. I've taught in traditional settings before, and the challenge with that, right, is that you have, say, a class of 20 students, and you're physically present, which is nice because they can have your physical presence, but it's also difficult because if one person is struggling and you want to give them special attention, then you have to take away from the progress of the entire class. Another issue is that if you have behavior issues, and this applies to adults as well as children, that cuts into your enjoyment of the teaching process, and it eats up your time and your energy and takes away from your focus on the actual process of teaching. And Udemy allows you to put everything you have into the actual instruction, the teaching. You create the content exactly how you want it or how you feel it should be. And then in the discussions, you're able to help people answer questions and kind of walk them along through the process without it affecting the learning experience of anyone else in your course. You also don't have to deal with a lot of red tape or bureaucracy or employers telling you when to show up and what to do and all the other things that go with the traditional model of teaching. So the other side of it is the entrepreneur side. And that's what I love about the Udemy community, and I'll get into that in a minute. But Udemy allows you to not only be a teacher and be a passionate, dedicated teacher, but it allows you to be an entrepreneur. It allows you to use and expand your marketing skills and your sales skills to essentially connect with your students and help them and encourage them to get into more of your courses. It gives you opportunities to connect with potential students outside of Udemy and bring them to your courses and not only be able to teach them and benefit their lives, but also be rewarded financially for that. So it's a really amazing combination of the two. Let's look at some more reasons why Udemy is amazing. I kind of touched on this before, but there is a great community of people involved in Udemy. They have this really wonderful combination of traits of being teachers and entrepreneurs, which I've never found anywhere else in the world. So they tend to have more business savvy, which means they can help you with marketing and other kinds of business advice, but they also kind of have the heart of teachers. So they are helpful, they want to contribute and give, and they really want to see other people succeed. And that's a really amazing thing to be a part of. And Udemy has a dedicated Facebook page, actually 2 of them, full of instructor entrepreneurs just like this. And Udemy not only provides that resource, but they have a ton of other resources that are readily available and really well put together. They have a whole website and a blog loaded with frequently asked questions and instructor support. They have an entire course that they've created that you can take for free that actually shows you how to create a course on Udemy, which is very helpful. And again, they have the instructor Facebook pages just loaded with people who have been there and done that and are willing to help, which just makes it a real pleasure to teach on Udemy. Another amazing aspect of teaching on Udemy is that it's flexible and scalable. And I'll get into what scalable means in just a minute. But the flexibility part of it basically means that you can create your course on your own time or in your spare time. You can upload it and publish it whenever you want. And you can even interact with your students on your own time. And again, this is one of the benefits of teaching on Udemy as opposed to teaching in a classroom setting. Because in a classroom setting, you have to show up when your boss wants you to show up. But on Udemy, you can create the course and you can engage with your students and communicate with your students on your own schedule. In fact, I think Udemy actually has a guideline, and I want to say that they ask you to get back to your students within 3 days. And to be honest, some instructors don't even get back to their students. I personally try to get back to them within a few hours if possible, but certainly within 24 hours. But that still provides a ton of flexibility. That basically means I can check my course discussions once a day and spend a few minutes connecting and helping any students who need it, and I can do that whenever I want during the day. And I'm one of the more engaged instructors on Udemy. So that flexibility makes it really easy to stand out and be an exceptional instructor, but still have complete control of your own time. And then secondly, it's scalable. And scalability means that you can grow the business side, or more specifically the passive income side of your Udemy business without it creating exponentially more work for you. So again, back to my analogy of the classroom setting, if you were to try and teach in a classroom setting and you want to make more money or you want to teach more classes, then you have to add more hours to your schedule. So if you're already working 40 hours a week and you want to double the amount that you teach, then you're going to have to start working 80 hours a week to do that. And that's really impractical. But with Udemy, if I want to teach 12 more courses, I can spend the time up front to create those courses, but managing them and taking care of my students is not going to take me another 40 hours a week. Even if I have very engaged students with a lot of difficult questions, it might take me a few extra hours a week to manage those courses. So I can double my income, but only increase my commitment or my time output by a few hours a week. So that's really important when it comes to trying to create a significant amount of passive income. And then finally, teaching on Udemy opens up a ton of other options that are related to Udemy. And one thing I haven't talked about a ton in this course is connecting all of your different sources of passive income so that they actually work together. So you can see we have YouTube, websites, ebooks, and other learning platforms. We'll start with YouTube. So you can actually go and create a YouTube channel that's related to the course you're teaching on Udemy, and you can publish some of your lectures or even additional information to your YouTube channel. You can monetize them on YouTube, so you're actually making money on YouTube, which I've never made significant amounts of money on there, but I know that some people do, and I make some money. But the cool thing is then you can link back to your course, and the people that find your free content on YouTube can come and sign up for your course on Udemy. The same thing with websites. You can publish content that's related to your Udemy course on your website, and then you can direct your website visitors to your Udemy course so they can learn more. You can also embed those same YouTube videos on the website, and you see how the circle starts to go around. You can also take the content from your Udemy course and turn it into an ebook, or vice versa. You could create an ebook and take the content from the ebook, and you could create a Udemy course. And all of these things can be interconnected so that your students and your readers can get just basically the best experience and the most well-rounded experience possible. And then finally, there are other e-learning platforms out there besides Udemy. One of my favorites is Skillshare, because Skillshare is really well suited to like craft and hobby type things, and so my pottery courses are on Skillshare and they actually do quite well there. Udemy is a lot more for like entrepreneurial, business, software, things like that. Although I've seen a lot of people with hobbies and cooking and yoga and things do really well on Udemy as well. But you can create a course on Udemy and then you can publish it to other places, whether it's Skillshare, or there are even a lot of software programs out there that make it really easy to host your course on your own platform. So if you have your own website, you can have your own course on there, and it can be the same course that you have on Udemy as long as it's paid. So you can drive your own students to that course and make money that way. Okay, so I've gone on and on about how wonderful it is. Let's look at some of the cons. So the one drawback is that it's not 100% passive, but it is close. And I've touched on this a little bit, but basically once you create a course, you do need to stay engaged with the course and with the students. In most cases, this takes very little effort. I have heard of a few people who are doing programming languages and they get some really challenging questions and they do spend quite a bit of time engaging with their students. But they also have some very successful courses, and some of those people are making a ton of money. So I feel like it's probably worth it. But besides the engagement part, the rest of it is very passive. You create the course up front, you put in the initial investment, and then once it's created, it's out there and it's ready to make money. And Udemy also does a lot of promotion, which I should have mentioned earlier, but they spend a lot of money on marketing and bringing students to you and to your courses. And if your course succeeds, then they will promote your course even more. So it's kind of very similar to the way Amazon will sell your ebooks for you if you set them up right. Udemy does the same thing, has a very powerful search engine and a lot of students. And if you create a good course that makes Udemy money, they will keep sending people to your course with very little effort on your part. So that's very awesome. But you do still have to stay engaged with those students. And as with anything, there is a learning curve. And Udemy is certainly easier to learn than paper investing or real estate. It's probably on the same level as website building or similar, and it's definitely a bit harder than creating an ebook. You have to learn how to record your voice or your face if you're choosing to appear on screen, although in many of my courses I don't ever appear on screen because frankly I don't like to be on screen. So a lot of them, like this course, perfect example, it's all screenshots, and in this case it's screenshots of a PowerPoint presentation and my voice. So you can make the learning curve easier if you want, but you have to learn how to organize your information. You have to learn how to speak clearly, and you have to learn how to edit videos and put everything together in a presentable fashion. But again, Udemy has such amazing resources that really make this a lot easier than it would be if you were just out on your own trying to figure this out. And then it does require a small upfront investment to get started. So obviously you'll need your computer. You do need a quality microphone because 80% of the value of your course has to do with your voice, how you sound and what you say. And you can't capture your voice well unless you have a good microphone. But the good news is you can pick one up at Amazon for about $50. The microphone that I'm using right now cost me $50, and it's amazing. It's really great. Then you need some sort of video editing software. And the one that I use is Camtasia, which I absolutely love. It's made by TechSmith. And for a PC, it's normally $299. But if you're an instructor, you can actually apply for a discount. And at the time of the recording of this video, if you qualified for the discount by being a Udemy instructor, you could get Camtasia for $150. I didn't know that, unfortunately, when I started, which is why I'm mentioning it. And I wound up paying $299. But I'll tell you, it was the best $299 I have ever spent in my life. Camtasia is fantastic, and it's allowed me to create all these courses. And then if you are going to put your face on camera, which I do have to admit students prefer because it's really nice to see who is teaching the course, then you do need some sort of lighting. If you're a little bit creative, you can use natural lighting or you can use home lighting creatively, and as long as you don't have an obnoxious, goofy, or distracting background, then you can pretty much do that for free. And if you look at some of the promo videos for some of my other courses, some are decent, and I have one or two, like for my Kindle publishing course, the video of me is actually pretty terrible. But to be honest, that's my best-selling course, because the point is people just want to know who you are. People just want to be able to connect with you as a person. So you don't have to have a $5,000 video production studio to be able to do this. And then last but not least, like with anything that you're going to create of value, it does take time and effort. So of course you have to come up with the idea for your courses. You have to basically, you have to write out an outline. You have to brainstorm different sections and chapters, and it's very similar to writing a book. You have to come up with something of value, and you have to create the content that you're going to put into it. You also have to learn how to use the software and use the platform so you can create a quality course. And then you have to go through the time and effort to actually do it. Record the videos, edit the videos, and so on. But I'm excited to say that Udemy is really an amazing opportunity and an amazing platform, and really just a turnkey way to create incredible and fun and fulfilling passive income.